verse 13.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 13. And who is he that will harm you?
Yeah, who can harm you? Who? Read it.
If ye be followers of that which is good.
And that if is a stipulation. This whole scripture is a question. Who can harm you if you're doing that which is good? Nobody. Nobody can harm you. That's like a perfect scripture to go with it. Yeah. Isaiah. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. But then this scripture should follow it. Who, read it from the top one more time.
And who is he that will harm you, if ye be followers of that which is good?
How can anything negative happen to you if you're following that which is good? If you're a wife, how can your husband abuse you if you're following that which is good? The Most High is not going to make that situation happen at all. If you're out there, if you're at your job and somebody comes to your job, they're being, however, aggressive with you. If you're followers of that which is good, they can't do no harm to you. Exercise the patience, exercise the wisdom of the Most High. Talk them down.
You know, I remember one time, my rib, she was working at this eyeglass place, and her coworker's husband, he went in there with a gun and literally beat the wife. Like I'm talking about, like, almost punched her eye out her face, like beat her down, gun button her, all types of madness. Right there in the eyeglass store, right there in America's Best eyeglasses. And it just so happened that my rib was off that day, and I was like, damn, you know. And it's little things you say, well, it's a coincidence. But nah, it's not a coincidence. Because just as easy as she wasn't there, it's as easy for her to be there. Y'all see that? But again, when you're doing things that are good, the Most High will find a way to preserve you from that evil. What's that?
I had a similar situation.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at a bank,
mm-hmm.
and the bank got robbed 3 times. And every time the bank got robbed, I was on my lunch break.
You were on your lunch break putting on the mask?
Hey, if you leave it up to them.
Just joking.
But yeah,
you leave it up to them, it was you, right? Like, damn, this is a coinky dink. Fool me once the first time, shame on me. Fool me again, shame on you. What? How's it go? Something like that.
Something like that.
Right. No, but yeah, I mean, think about that. What's the chances?
Literally, right?
100% chance. Come on, man. What's the chances? That every time if you're not, obviously you didn't rob the bank, but what's the chances that every time that happens you go on lunch break? Or were they sitting there like, damn, y'all about to go on break, let's get them. Let's go get the bank real quick. Nah, Most High was like, let me get you up out of here. That way you ain't got to be around this.
It was some violent ones. Like 2 of them was real bad, and one was just a note pass.
Yeah. Oh, like give me that.
Yeah.
Like, give me that. No ink strips. What was it? Just hand her the note.
Yeah.
Walk out.
Hand her the note. She hands you the money. Yeah. Don't press the button. None of that. Just give me all the big bills.
It actually said on the note, "Don't be a hero."
Don't be a hero. The money ain't yours. It's covered by insurance. I'd have all that on the note. It's covered by insurance. It ain't yours. Don't be a hero. Make it home to your kids. Empty the drawer. Right? Empty the drawer. Yeah.
Hey, hit Ecclesiasticus 7 and 1. This goes into what we're talking to as well.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 7 and verse 1.
Right now.
Do no evil, so shall no harm come unto thee.
So in these situations, imagine if that person was actually doing evil. Imagine if they were. Then yeah, that harm comes on you. You reap what you sow, right?
Gone.
You reap exactly what you sow. So this one scripture to keep in our head as well. Do no evil, ain't no harm gonna come onto us. We have nothing to worry about. The Most High cannot lie, right? That's what the scripture says.
Gone.
The Most High can't lie. So when the Most High set this promise down, do no evil, so shall no harm come onto you. We know where we need to keep our minds at. We know what our works, how our works should be. Verse 2.
Depart from the unjust.
Yeah, leave those people alone. It's like when you came into the truth, you had to drop certain friends. If you didn't drop certain friends, the Most High is going to check you. So yeah, when you came into the truth, certain friends had to go. Speaking from experience. Certain friends really had to go. Certain family members had to go. Had to depart from them. Keep reading.
And iniquity shall turn away from thee.
That way you're not getting punished. That way you don't get caught up in their BS. You don't, when the Most High sends judgment on them, you're not around them to see it or even get caught up in it. Verse 3.
My son, so not upon their furrows. Did I say that right?
Furrows.
The furrows of unrighteousness.
Yeah, we're not going to work with the unrighteousness. We're not going to help them do certain things. It's like, perfect example. You know your cousin sells weed. You're not going to give him your car to go make a trip. You know what he's going to do. You know this person's an alcoholic. You're not going to give them your car to drive your car to the damn liquor store. You're not going to give your auntie money so she can buy some cigarettes. Just on a lower level. But you're not going to help them out. You're not going to be a part of it at all.
Where you at? Where you at?
That's verse 3. Ecclesiastes.
Read it again.
7 and 3.
My son, so not upon the furrows of unrighteousness.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Keep reading.
And thou shalt not reap them sevenfold.
Now, why would you reap them sevenfold? Because you know better. You know better, so your punishment is going to be worse than theirs. It's like if you're a parent and you got children, you're gonna discipline that one that knows better. You're gonna discipline that older one more than you'll discipline the younger one, because they know better. But jump from that and go to Job chapter 22 and verse 21. So yeah, we're going over these scriptures to show anybody that feels like, oh, I'm an Israelite, I can't be touched. I can do whatever I want to do. I can act however way I want to act, because the Most High has your back. It's not what you think. What it really is the Most High. He laid down His knowledge, man. And as we study, we're put in certain situations where we're able to apply the knowledge, and that's what turns it into wisdom. So we're supposed to exercise the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Most High, and that's what keeps us from being untouchable. But just because it's like you were saying with the fringes, what's the point of wearing fringes if you're out there doing wickedness?
Right.
What's the point of being circumcised if you're going to act like you're uncircumcised? There's no point. So just because we have that scripture, we know we're an Israelite, the Most High sets His angels around us, it doesn't give us the right to just act like we're a superhero, like we're going to fight the cops because they're killing us. Like if somebody comes at you the wrong way, we're just going to behave the same way with them. But yeah, hit that Job chapter 22 and verse 21.
Acquaint now thyself with Him, and be at peace.
So it says when we acquaint ourselves with the Most High, we will be at peace. We will be at peace. How do you acquaint yourself with the Most High? You get in the book. You see what He's saying in the book. You read it. Whatever it says to do, that do. Whatever thought process it says to change, you read it, you're looking at yourself in the mirror. You see, I need to change this about myself. I need to act this way. You change it. That's how you acquaint yourself with the Most High. That's how you acquaint yourself with His thoughts. And by doing that, you'll be at peace.
Did it go off again?
Loud.
Oh, okay.
Keep reading, brother.
Thereby good shall come unto thee.
And a lot of us wonder why good doesn't come on to us. We're in the truth. We're doing what we're doing the work, but good ain't coming. Good ain't coming for us. That's because we're not acquainted the way we should be. We're not acquainted in the way the Most High wants us to be. So we got to search the scriptures and find where we're lacking. We got to seek counsel and find where we're lacking. We got to find a way to really acquaint ourselves with the Most High more than ever before. Because it says our righteousness is as filthy rags. So we can never acquaint ourselves enough. we can never better our relationship with the Most High enough. But we know that as long as we're striving, that peace is always going to be with us. Good will always come to us as well. Jump to verse 25.
Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense.
So yeah, when we acquaint ourselves with him, just like if you're a wife, you acquaint yourself with your husband, he's your defense now. So yeah, when we acquaint ourselves with the Most High, he becomes our defense. Keep reading. Verse 25.
And thou shalt have plenty of silver.
And it says we're going to have plenty of silver. We're going to have plenty of credit with the Most High. And on that, go to Ecclesiastes. Abiyar, if you can get Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12. And read that verse 25 again, brother.
Right. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver.
So in Ecclesiastes, verse 7 and 12, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12. For wisdom is a defense.
So us being acquainted with the Most High and his wisdom, that becomes our defense. That's the best defense you can ever have. Keep reading.
And money is a defense.
Now read that last part in verse 25.
Thou shalt have plenty of silver.
And now you read your part again.
For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense.
So we end up having plenty of money, plenty of credit, plenty of silver with the Most High. And it says that money is a defense. It says, what does it say? Get rich and then go to war? Or get your money right and then go to war?
Count the cost.
Count the cost.
No man go to war and count out the cost.
Exactly. So you get your money right, you get your credit right with the Most High. And how does that happen? You become more acquainted with the Most High. So now you have this credit stored up with the Most High where he's like, this man's always putting in work. The sister's always putting in work. They're studying. Look how they changed. You build up plenty of credit. So guess what? He'll fight. He's going to fight for you.
Now, I like what you're saying. You know, I like the way the class is going. It's basically saying that if you do what's right in the eyes of the Most High, you really ain't got to worry about too much.
At all.
You'll have the necessary things. Give us this day our daily bread. Right? Give us this day our daily bread. So you'll have the things that you need, but most importantly, you'll have that spiritual defense. Right? You'll have that peace of mind that you need when you step out into this. Where you when you went earlier in the class a couple of days ago, you're talking about the Most High sent us out as sheep, right, amongst the wolves. So that's the thing. When you're now amongst these wolves, you gotta be defended, because a wolf is just looking to rip a sheep apart. A sheep is wolf's prey, right? But now if the Most High is defending you, you're no longer the prey. You become the predator, right? You become that sheep in wolf's clothing, or however it is, right? The roles are reversed. Because why? That wisdom, it says the word of the Most High is sharper than any two-edged sword. Oh, am I jumping? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump. I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But no, I like how you're bringing that back, though, because it said the Most High sent us out as sheep, right? Mm-hmm. And then he didn't make us leave with anything. Don't carry no purse. Don't carry nothing with you. So we're sent as sheep in the midst of wolves. The only thing we have is him. He's our defense. That's it. Keep reading. Keep reading Ecclesiastes.
But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
See, the wisdom is what gives you life. The wisdom will not take your life. The wisdom, even though it follows you through your crooked past, it's not going to put you in a position to where you're going to have your life taken. Because you should know. I'm going to know better than to be trying to get some weed, some crack, sell some whatever, hang around people that's in gangs. The wisdom of the Most High should show you. I'm going to know better than I'm going to talk against my boss. I'm going to talk a certain way with my manager or my boss who actually has the power to fire me. The Most High is not going to fight for you if you're not being that righteous example. If you're not correctly applying the wisdom, he's not going to fight with you. He's not going to fight for you. But hit Job chapter 1 and verse 10. So we're showing right here how the Most High He's our defender. And what better defender to have? We don't need no nukes, no missiles. We don't need no army. The Most High is our army. What better army to have than angels? Read that. Read verse 10.
Job 1 and 10.
Yes, sir.
Hast not thou made a hedge about him?
Most High makes his hedge about you. Keep reading.
And about his house.
And about your family. What better defense to have? We don't need ADT. We don't need these home security programs. Keep reading.
And about all that he hath on every side.
Keep reading.
Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land.
Why? Because the Most High is with you. Your cup overfloweth. You're actually doing his work. You're known of him. He loves you. I'll put it like that. Whoever you love, you protect, right? When you love someone, you protect them. So the Most High protects you. He has that headset about you. He blesses your substance. Hit Psalms chapter 91:11.
And before you get to that point, so, you know, I was having a conversation with someone. They basically, they want to move to Houston to deal with the camp. But they were like, you know, they were hearing from some people, like, you know, Houston's violent. There's a lot of violence in Houston. It's a big city. I'm like, Con, it is a big city and there is violence, but there's violence all across the earth. But you know what I was trying to show this person is this, and it goes right along with this, what the brother's class is going over, is that the Most High, first of all, the scripture said the Most High chose us from the foundation of the earth. Chose us for what? To be kings and priests. But for what? To the people. Why? Because we're in such a state of violence and confusion and chaos that we become this tool, right, to reach the people. When a tool's no longer, when a tool doesn't do its job, what do you do with the tool? You replace the tool. If a hammer can't nail in nails, what good is a hammer? Right? If a screwdriver is worn down to where it can't screw in screws, you got to replace him. But as long as that tool is doing its job, it's useful. And this is what I was trying to show this person, is that as long as we're on our job, we don't got to worry about what's going on as far as the violence that surrounds us. You know, when you read, I believe it's in Ezekiel, I believe it's Ezekiel 37, where it talks about us being in the midst of the wicked. It is the dry bones, but we were in the where Israel is like dropped in the middle of the chaos, no matter where we at. But see, if you're doing what the will of the Most High, what the Most High wants, you ain't got to worry about the chaos. Think about it. When we were all in the flood, right? Everything around us was flooding, right? But what happened to us? We were good. Because why? The Most High looked down and said, well, they're useful. They're on their job. They're doing what I need them to do, so I'm not going to destroy them. When you go into Ecclesiastes, I'm going to pull one real quick, Ecclesiasticus 2. See, there's some key words we got to look at, and then we're going to jump to your scripture. I don't want to take it off point or take it over, but I just want to make one point, and then class is going to be over. No. I'm joking. Go to Ecclesiasticus. Go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 9.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
Ye that fear the Lord.
So we talked about that fear. I know we talked about it, the feed cut, but we talked about that fear being respect. You can interchange that word. Ye that respect the Lord, what?
Hope for good.
You're going to hope for the best. Why? Because your works, the things that you're doing, are setting in your mind that if I do good, then good is going to come. Right? If I sow to the Spirit, I'm going to reap spiritual things. But what? If I sow to the flesh, I'm going to reap death and destruction. Right? Go ahead.
And for everlasting joy and mercy.
Go ahead. Read on.
Look to the generations of old.
Right, so let's look at these older generations. Let's go to the time of Moses. Righteous man, humble, upright. Go ahead.
And see, did ever any trust in the Lord?
Noah, he built an ark through faith, right? Scriptures tell us that. Through faith, Noah prepared the ark. Through faith, Abraham. Through faith, Moses. They all did these things through faith and belief and respect for the Most High and understanding that I got a job to do. Right? Go ahead.
And was confounded.
But they were never confounded. Until what? When did Moses not see the promised land? When he stopped doing his damn job. When he took it upon himself to hit the rock. That wasn't his job. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Or did any abide in his fear?
Or did anybody respect the Most High? Go ahead.
And was forsaken?
And he forsook them. No. Go ahead.
Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
You see that? That called upon him in a true mind, in a true heart, with a good intent. You can add all those words in because that's what it's talking about. It wasn't like, oh, I called on the name of the Lord and then he didn't fight for me. Nah, what was your intent? What was your job? What were you doing? So, we really got to understand, and, the conversation I was showing this person was, we don't worry about those things. Like, first of all, look where the damn school is. We're in the middle of crackheads, pimps, and dope dealers. They walk by all the time. They come to the school begging for things all the time. But do we sit here and worry about, oh, I can't go to the school today because there's a crackhead across the street? Hell nah. I don't think about it. We pass out flyers in the neighborhood with Crips on one side and Bloods down the block, walking around in our red and blue garments. Do we not? What brother ever said, oh, we can't go down that block because it's just, they're going to shoot us today? Nah, we don't think about that. We just know that if we're doing our job and we're doing it out of a pure mind, a pure heart, pure conscience, the Most High is going to deal with the rest. Is it always peachy? Nah. There's time, I remember one time we were down here on Bissonnet, and we was on the host road. And it was about, what? It was all the brothers in the camp that day. I don't know how that happened. It was like 9 bros at that time that I'm speaking about, all out doing flyers. Yeah. And listen, there was some crazy dude talking about 5%ers and Islam, Next thing you know, he pulled out a damn Ginsun sword on us. He pulled a sword out of his pants. And we stood there like, okay. But he just ran up and then stopped. And then wanted to talk. We were like, okay. But nobody got nervous. Nobody got scared. Nobody ran. Because it was like, well, hey, if today's our day, I guess we all going to go out. Somebody better get them. But just to show the point that we don't consider these things when we're doing the job. And we're always on the job. That's why we never consider it. We just know that, are we walking circumspect? Always, yes. Are we not walking around blind? But we understand that the Most High, no matter what, he dictates everything. And we serve a purpose if we're doing the right thing. And as soon as you go off the path of, I'm going to do my own thing, I'm going to do me, got to get it how you live, YOLO, all that, then guess what? Now you got to watch your back. Simple as that. So, but go ahead. You can jump back to where you were going to go. I just want to.
Psalms 91, 11.
God, Psalms chapter 91 and verse 11.
For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways.
Right to the point. Go ahead. Right to what I was saying. Go ahead. Yeah, that's the spirit. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, what's better? What's better than having the angels protect you? It's better than the vest. It's better than the cops. We know they don't do that. We know the military don't give a damn about us. So, what protection do we need? We don't need guns. We don't need martial arts. It's not bad to have it, but that's not where we put our faith. That's not where our confidence lies. Go to Proverbs 3 and 26. Just on that point.
Think about it. When the Most High said he put his angels as charge over thee, you know what that's telling you? It didn't matter if you had a vest. It didn't matter if, listen, I know stories of brothers that been in the truth out there street teaching, got guns pulled on them, cat pulled back the hammer, cocked it, fire in the gun jammed. Who is that? What? The gun just decided to malfunction that day? He didn't clean it that day. You know what I mean? Like, he gives angels charge over us.
It's better.
Listen, that right there is showing you that the power of the Most High is greater than a vest. It's greater than any martial art. It's greater than anything you can fathom. And you really got to consider that. Because think about it. It said he give angels charge over you to watch us out, right? But then what happens when he sends the reverse? When you ain't on your job and you fall into Psalm 73, where he sends the evil angels to you. Then what? Guess what? There ain't no defending against that. You see how it works? Where the angels can defend anything, but then you can't defend against them. When it's your time, when you ain't doing your job, and he sends those evil angels to visit you, then what? You can't run. So we got to be very, very careful of the path we choose and the things that we do.
And the situations that we get in.
Right.
As well. But yeah, hit that Proverbs 3:26. So yeah, with us knowing that we have angels surrounding us, surrounding our family members, surrounding our loved ones, our guns gonna be our confidence, weapons, what we know, our skill in fighting, our anger, the cops. Somebody breaking in your house, you're gonna call the cops. I mean, that's the first reaction to anything. When anything happens, we're gonna call the cops.
It took 30 minutes to get there.
And that's the world's protection. But we know we have the Most High. We know the angels are our protection. So before that robber even comes to your house, something happens to them, and we wouldn't even know. A lot of times, something bad is gonna happen to us. The Most High stops it, and you don't even know. And that's your blessing. That's your blessing for doing something for the Most High, keeping His wisdom, doing some form of charity. You'll never know about it. That's why it's good to pray every morning when you wake up. Say a prayer to the Most High for letting you wake up, because anything could have happened. And a lot of times, man, He stops a lot of things. You won't even know about it. You don't know about the things that He stopped, the dangers that He took you out of. Every day. Read that. Proverbs chapter 3:26.
For the Lord shall be thy confidence.
The Lord is our confidence. We know once we're doing what we need to do, our minds is at where it needs to be at. We don't need confidence in anything else. We're not going to be confident in no police officers. Confident in our gun. Look, they all fail. Your gun can jam. Imagine your gun jams, man, in a situation where you really need it. But that's what your confidence is in. The Most High is not on your side. And that one thing that you had confidence in, that jammed on you. It's terrible. It's terrible. Keep reading.
And shall keep thy foot from being taken.
The Most High is not going to let your foot be taken as long as you're doing what you need to do. As long as your mind is where it needs to be. But yeah. Second Maccabees chapter 8 and verse 36. We're going to go into a little history in the Maccabees during the time of war, where the Most High had us. But just to show you our confidence, just to show you the confidence that we need to have in the Most High, because see, our enemies know this. The nations know this. The evildoers, they know this. But the crazy thing is we don't. The crazy thing is we don't know this. Read this. 2 Maccabees chapter 8, verse 36.
2 Maccabees chapter 8 and verse 36. Thus he that took upon him to make good of the Romans their tribute by means of the captives in Jerusalem, told abroad that the Jews had God to fight for them.
So I forgot the brother's name. It's Nicanor. So in Nicanor, you had Nicanor in verse 10. It says, so Nicanor undertook to make so much money of the captive Jews as should defray the tribute of 2,000 talents which the king was to pay to the Romans. So Nicanor was planning to go into Jerusalem, conquer Jerusalem, and sell us as slaves, right? We'll read that verse 36 one more time from the top. So thus he in 8:36 is talking about Nicanor. Go ahead and read.
Thus he that took upon him to make good to the Romans their tribute by means of the captives in Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
Told abroad that the Jews had God to fight for them.
So we had the Most High to fight for us. And at this time we were living in Jerusalem, we had our own armies. We had a very powerful army. Many of wars we've been through. And we came through. But who do we have to fight for us? Go ahead.
And therefore they could not be hurt.
So when we have the Most High to fight for us, we can't be hurt. And that's our confidence. That's exactly what our confidence is. We have the Most High to fight for us. We have over 200 million angels that will fight for us. An innumerable multitude of angels that will fight for us. Go ahead.
Because they followed the laws that he gave them.
Because we did what?
Followed the laws that he gave them.
Because we did what?
Followed the laws that he gave them.
As long as we're doing what we need to do, the Most High fight for us. And the dope part about that scripture, it says that we cannot be hurt. Untouchable. Invincible. Go to 2 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 17. Yeah, when you read the Maccabees, it was so many wars that we would go through. We'll have a small number of men. They might come up against us and we have 20,000 men. And they have hundreds of thousands with with elephants, better weapons. And the only thing we had was the Most High. And a lot of those wars we came out of, we wouldn't even lose one man, which is ridiculous when you think about it. That's like America going to war with a small country like Jamaica, and Jamaica winning and not losing one man. But go to 2 Maccabees 2 and 17.
2 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 17. We hope also that the God that delivered all his people.
So the Most High delivered us. We don't deliver ourselves. We put ourselves in a position to be delivered by the Most High if we're doing what we need to do. But the Most High is the one that delivers us at all times. Keep reading.
And gave all them an inheritance and the kingdom.
So the Most High is the one that gave us our land. He's the one that gives us our blessing, our kingdoms. It's never by us. So if we fight a war, if we just fight somebody regularly, that ain't us. That's the Most High that gives us that victory. Go ahead.
And the priesthood and the sanctuary.
That's everything the Most High gave us. Verse 18.
Verse 18. As he promised in the law, will shortly have mercy upon us.
So the Most High is the one that will have mercy on us. He's the one that's going to deliver us from this captivity, from America. When martial law happens, the Most High delivers us. World War III, the Most High delivers us. Racial violence or whatever, black versus white, the Most High is the one that delivers us. Not us, not ourselves. So we know better than to get caught up in what's going on in society. We know better than to get caught up in the contentions. Go ahead.
And gather us together out of every land under heaven into the holy place.
He does it. He's the one that does all that. Keep reading.
For he hath delivered us out of great troubles.
So when you find yourself in a situation where you're in any predicament, where anything bad could have happened to you, whether it was before the truth or being in the truth, the Most High is the one that delivers you. But now being in the truth, before we were in the truth, the Most High delivered us just because he loved us. But now being in the truth, we're delivered as long as we exercise that wisdom. As long as we exercise that wisdom, we'll be fine. But now jump to 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. So now we know that the Most High, he's the one that fights for us. And all he wants us to do is seek the kingdom. Keep our eyes single. And seek his kingdom. Seek his righteousness. So we're not going to be walking around ready to fight anybody. Ready to be contentious with anybody. Being caught up in drama. That's not what our focus is going to be on. Our focus is not going to be on the negativity. Our focus will be on the positivity. And that's pleasing the Most High, I should say. So read that, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. Let's see what our fight is.
2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. We know that already. We know our warfare is always spiritual. And if we are not attacking, if we are not fighting these spirits with the scriptures correctly, then those weapons can be manifested carnally. But I want you to do this. Stay at 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. Christian, if you can get 2 Maccabees chapter 8, verse 18. Just to go with this scripture. As it said, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So we're never going to be out here about to fight somebody physically. Us being Israelites and us living after the law and the righteousness of the Most High, we should never be put in a situation where a confrontation becomes physical with anybody, or where a weapon can be drawn on us. But yeah, read that whole 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, and read 2 Maccabees chapter 8 verse 18.
For they said he, trust in their weapons and boldness.
See, that's like America. America trusts in their weapons. They trust in their military. They have the most powerful military according to them. So that's what they trust in. They trust in their guns. They trust in their bombs. They trust in their. They trust in any weapon that they formulated. They trust in their weapons. Their the way they genetically modified the food. They trust in their propaganda. They trust in all that. We'll read that again from the top.
For they said he, trust in their weapons and boldness.
Go ahead.
But our confidence is in the almighty power.
Go ahead.
Who at a beck can cast down both them that come against us.
So it says that even though they trust in their weapons and their boldness, their pride, because they have this weapon, these weapons, our confidence is at the Most High, who at a beck will cast them down before us. And that beck, when you look up beck, it's a head nod. So all the Most High has to do to cast them down, all the Most High has to do to cast down our enemies is this. The head nod. That means that it's a go. Go ahead and do it. The Most High doesn't need, he says at a beck. That means he doesn't even speak. That means that the angels, they already know what the Most High is thinking. They already know. So when the Most High just goes ahead and it's over. It's over. So what more confidence than we need? It says that that's our confidence. It says, but our confidence is in the Almighty, who at a beck can cast down both them that come up against us. And what? Finish it.
And also all the world.
At a beck, the Most High can cast down the whole world.
What verse is that?
That's second Maccabees chapter 8, verse 18. Just a head nod, the Most High can destroy the whole world. And that's who we have as our defender. We don't need nothing else. It says the weapons of our warfare. Read that again, 2 Corinthians 10 and 4.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds.
Now, if the Most High, it says it's mighty through the Most High at pulling down at all strongholds. Now, if the Most High with just a head nod can destroy the whole world, can destroy all our enemies, what more confidence do we need? Why are we getting entangled with the affairs of this life? Why are we worried about somebody looking at us wrong? Like they want to fight. That shouldn't be where our minds is at. Being in the truth and working after these scriptures, man, trying to apply them, trying to put on that righteous armor. We shouldn't worry about how somebody looks at us. Somebody shouldn't even give you that look, because you should be glowing. You should be anointed with oil. You should be that light that's shining. Somebody shouldn't even look at you negative. So somebody is looking at you negative. What spirits are you harboring? What are you thinking? That's making it. What spirits are you entertaining in your head? That's making it come to. That's actually making it physically manifest to where you can see somebody eyeing you like they want to fight you. But yeah,
Good question.
I mean, it's real. Now when I look at things, when I look at certain situations, if something manifests spiritually, some type of negativity, what am I thinking about? Where's my head at for this to happen? Because you're supposed to cast that thought out before the Most High makes it manifest. Now, if it manifests as something simple as they looking wrong at you, if you see that, you should be like, damn, am I right?